Alright, so I've been getting a lot of questions about the voltage divider in the schematic that I put on my website. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into more depth on how to hook up this voltage divider. So on the schematic you have your red connector from your Molex right here, which is 5 volts. So this wire, the easy part is you're going to take it and you're just going to make a connection right here to pin 8. Okay, so that's the easy part. So here comes the voltage divider part, which has a lot of people confused. So we're going to come over here, and what's going to happen is you're going to have a 330 ohm resistor right here. So 330 ohms. And then you're also going to connect two 330 ohm resistors right here. So you have one 330 ohm and then another 330 ohm in series. And what this is doing is it's creating an equivalent resistance of 660 ohms in this area, and then you connect that to ground down here, which is just a black wire. And then so right here is where you want to pull voltage from. So basically what's happening is you have 5 volts on this side of the wire, and then this apparatus right here is going to divide that 5 volts up, and then it's not exactly 3.3 volts, but you have close enough to 3.3 volts that the DVD drive will work on this node right here. And then so you want to connect this right here to pin 4 and pin 6. Now I think it says in this, there's a little star in the schematic. Let me look real quick. Yeah, so if you want, depending on what DVD drive you have, sometimes you have to ground this pin right here. So it says on the schematic which DVD drives need to ground this pin. So that could be different depending on what type of DVD drive you have. Alright, so there's also another voltage divider, which is essentially the same thing. So I'll just draw this connection over here. So just like last time, you're going to have this 330 ohm resistor right here. So this is 330 ohms. And then again, you're going to have two 330 ohm resistors in series. And then you connect that bottom one to ground. So this one's functioning in the exact same way as this one does up here. The reason you need two of them is that this one, you're going to have one connection that goes to pin 3, and then another connection right here, which is an active low switch that goes to ground. So basically what's happening is when you activate the switch, instead of having 3.3 volts on this node, you're now connecting it to ground, so you got 0 volts on this node. So basically you're going to short out these resistors and go straight to ground. And what that does is it ejects the DVD drive. Now when you're in mode B, you're going to have to flip the switch twice in order for this DVD drive to eject. So when you do have it hooked up to the computer, if you want to manually eject it with the switch, what you can do is you can put a button down there, and then you can just hit the button once, and then the DVD drive will pop open. So let's take a look at what the voltage divider actually looks like in the circuit, because I've had a lot of requests for people to see what the circuit looks like up close. So this is what the circuit actually looks like. So here's your red, your two black wires, and your yellow. So 5 ground, and 12 volts. And then so here's your two voltage dividers. So you got one 330 ohm resistor, and then two 330 ohm resistors in series right here, and then here's your out wire. So that just simulates what exactly, and then we got the same thing on this side over here. So 330 ohms out, 2 resistors in series, and then they're both hooked to this ground node right here. So that's just the same thing we got up there. And then the rest of the circuit's pretty self-explanatory. You're basically just connecting certain pins to their respective wires. So I mean, you got a couple pins you got to connect to this yellow wire right here, and then you got a couple pins you got to connect to ground, and then I think you got 1 or 2 that you connect to 5 volts. I can't remember. And then here's the switch that I'm working with right here. So like I said, when this is in mode B, I got to flip it twice like that, and then the DVD drive will pop open. If it's working regularly, all you got to do is flip it once, and then it'll go and eject. And yeah, so this connects to the power supply. I just cut that off of a fan right there. And then obviously I took this from the back of an Xbox 360. And then one thing I recommend, if you are going to build this, you need an enclosure before you put it in your computer, because there's metal all over the inside of your computer. All these metal parts, you don't want to leak any current onto your motherboard or something like that, because that's going to end up badly. And then also, wires are fragile, and if you're bending them a lot and they're stripped, like this one is right here, they're probably going to break. So like, as you can see, I took hot glue, and everywhere that my wires were stripped at, I took or I covered up with hot glue. So that's just going to make the circuit more robust, and it's going to stop you from having to resolder stuff and all that. So yep, that's further explanation of how this is working. If you have any more questions about the voltage divider, feel free to send me a message, you know, comment on the video, whatever you want to do. Alright.